and welcome to This is Nigeria, Unlocking Her Potentials. Today we are unlocking the youth's potential in Nigeria. It's been largely underplayed. It's an aberration. There's a huge unemployment gap. The youths of Nigeria, we have 65% of the population as youths. And that's a huge potential for Nigeria that should be harvested for the development of this country. But that was right before COVID. But now we have Covid-19. Covid-19 has amplified whatever problem we had before. It has laid us bare the way we are. And so many job losses has also happened. So today on This is Nigeria, we'll be discussing the remote causes of this, the possibilities, and what the new normal is going to look like for the youth of Nigeria. My name is Mayowa Oluwabi. We'll go on a short break and we'll be right back. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, well, the youth are on the spotlight on This is Nigeria today, and for many reasons, because they make the bulk of our population. And to discuss on youth matters, I have two very erudite minds, two very young people in the studio with me that I'm very proud of, to discuss on the way forward for the Nigerian youth, and to also assess the current situation. Hamza Lawal is the Chief Executive of Connected Development. He's also the founder of Follow the Money. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
And seated next to him is Kayode, Fagbemigun Israel, an IT expert who is very much involved in the digital economy, which is the way forward for the youth of Nigeria. You're welcome to the program.
It's a pleasure being here.
So Kayode, let me start with you. What is your assessment of the Nigerian youth?
Well, in my opinion, it's a pool of unharvested potentials. It's a group of people who have been left less busy for too long. And just as the wise saying goes, the hand that is less busy is like a ready hand for the devil's machinations. So I think what the society needs to do is to look more into what can be tapped out of the energy, the zeal, and the capacity that we are embedded in the pool of youths that we have out there. I contend to say that there is no set of youths across the world that as productive and as energetic as the youths in this country. However, our leaders, both in the past and present, have done little or nothing to tap into the potentials that are embedded in the youth population. So, I think as soon as we discover that and decide and make decisive decisions that is beyond this political surface dressing that they do in the name of youth empowerment, the better for the country.
All right, Hamza, what's your take on that?
So my generation is a generation of broken promises. So we've been promised a lot, but have been given nothing. My generation is one of the worst generation of mankind. Before now, we're not even allowed to aspire into political office. And if you look at Nigeria as a whole, let's even go to the entertainment industry. The people leading that industry are young people. If you go to the financial sector, it is young people that is leading. When you come to civil society, civic technology, innovation, and information technology, it's young people. But when you talk about politics, when you talk about governance, you hardly find the faces of young people who would inspire prosperity into the country. Young people, for me, should be assets. When we have the numbers, we have the energy, we have the ideas to be able to bring about the needed change in the country. But then when you look at why are we facing all the social vices in the country, Nigeria is not as if we're not creating jobs, but we're exporting those jobs. Because if you look at it, there is not element of local content. There is not element of community ownership. So most time we find ourselves exporting jobs and importing value. So that's why we find ourselves where we are today. And talking about youth in the context of Covid-19, and what Covid-19 has shown is that no one invested in young people before now. And when I talk about investment, I'm not even talking about, young people that have gone to school and that are graduates. Yeah. What has your certificate done for you? Because what COVID-19 has showed is for you to remain employed, you must have skill. Skill that brings about increase in Nigeria's GDP. So COVID-19 has shown that, it's not the regular go out and provide goods and service, get wage or get income or wait to the end of the month, even if you just take papers around in the office and you get paid. Right now, if you don't bring skill set that increase productivity, that also increase revenue in organizations and institutions, you'll be left unemployed. So it has also shown and exposed that our curriculum is not a curriculum that would take young people to greater heights. Today we're talking about artificial intelligence. And then you have young people who study computer science or computer engineering. Have never seen a computer or worked on a computer. So today, young people who remain employed are young people who are working from home, who are using digital skills, digital tool to provide goods and services and also value and making income and paying tax while at it.
Kayode, let me come to you. Where do you see the Nigerian youth post-COVID? Where should they start from? Now that we have assembled these problems on broken promises, like Hamza said.
Well, for me, I see the good, no matter how minute, in every bad situation. And that has been the helping hand for me generally throughout my experience in adult age. As bad as it is, there are some peculiarities that come with this new normal. Okay. The first thing is that the government says there's movement restrictions. You can't go to public places to eat. The normal bukateria where we go and get food and we eat there, we can't eat there anymore. That, for me, it's a boost for the logistic industry. One or two persons can come together, buy maybe a bicycle or motorcycle for delivery purposes. They make ends meet from it. If government says you can't go to a public place to go and eat, many people want to stay in their houses and still get the foods for themselves. Many people want to buy things in supermarket without necessarily going there. Young people can come together and come up with mini or micro, whichever way you call it, logistic value adding and service producing system. No matter how minute, they make some ends meet for themselves. And if they are consistent about it and they are determined to grow it, they can grow it to bigger things. Okay. That's one. Two, we must look at the fact that right within us are the foods that we refuse to make available and eat for ourselves. And the food is agric. According to Kayode Adesina, the president of African Development Bank, he said Africa spends at least $30 billion importing food every year. What that means is that we spend too much to bring in things that we can get for ourselves here. And the reason for that is not far-fetched. An average Nigerian sees a farmer as somebody who probably has tried other things and didn't work and just said, let me make this a point of activity so that I can feed myself. We must stop seeing it as a way of life. We must start seeing it as a business. We must start seeing agric as business.
So agribusiness, yes, not agriculture.
We must start seeing it as business. The value chain of agriculture is so complex that you can just pick one part of it and make as much money as you want. Take, for instance, the poultry business. It must get to a stage where Nigeria should conveniently export birds. I've not seen that happen. The rice industry, there are a lot of arable lands everywhere. kilometers of land, hectares of land wasting away. Nobody is using them. So the youth must come together and till the ground for the purpose of getting change in their pockets, and not just go to the bank, to the farm to go and get what you eat per day. It's not supposed to be so anymore, because we cannot. In the reality of COVID now has shown us that we cannot travel anyhow, just the way we want it, just the way we want it like before. The idea of running to the US to seek a greener pasture now has become more unlucrative, if I may use it like that, because COVID is everywhere. And even the American president...
Post-COVID, that's going to change.
It's going to change, but then, even when it's changed, there's a very, very high level of loss of employment, even in the developed world.
We'll go on a short break, and we'll be right back. Stay with us.
No nation depends on one source of revenue if it wants to create a sustainable economic development and a future for its citizens. Countries have all grown and sustained their respective economies through non-oil exports, and Nigeria Export Promotion Council (NEPC) is strategically positioned to do more on 22 priority export products under the Zero Oil Plan, the One State, One Product initiative, and the Nigeria Diaspora Export Program, which are needed pillars of success in our economic recovery and growth plan. Invest in non-oil export business such as sorghum, cassava, yam, shea nut, ginger, and reap bountifully. Export business guarantees a prosperous future through inclusive wealth and job creation. Join hands to make Nigeria one of the top 20 largest economies in the world. Export business, tomorrow's business. For further inquiries, visit .nepc.gov.ng.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Nigeria, and we've been unlocking the potential of the youth in Nigeria, most especially with COVID staring us in the face. We've been needing a lot of the youth in Nigeria to be engaged properly post-COVID-19. And I have some very good speakers in the house. They've been downloading some serious points. Kayode was in the middle of one.
What I was trying to say is that an average youth must look at what value you can add that will bring some change for you. And you must look at, they say necessity is the mother of invention. It has become necessary now that we survive. So you must look at what you have around you so that you can survive. The time when most of the reasons why our generation has gone this lazy is because we are majorly trained by civil servants. My father was a civil servant. All he does is to go to his office and wait for a salary at the end of 30 days. So the style of looking for what to do around on your own to add value and bring you money so that you will not wait for 30 days is kind of new to us. But our people must know that that is where there is money. That's where money is. If you do 2-3 assignments that has to do with ICT, you can earn what your parents will earn in 10 years. So our people must get to know that there are potentials in us, and we must look into them in this new normal and in the new terrain that COVID-19 has put.
All right, let me put you on pause. Let me come to Hamza. Hamza, what's your take on that?
I think young people are not lazy, but they're not exposed to some of these opportunities because, like I said, our schools, our university did not prepare us. His university did not prepare him to the realities of today. But I see COVID-19, as much as it's a crisis, it's a big opportunity where young people can tap into the potential. Yes, every young person has a smartphone. They're connected to the internet, and they're not exploring the potential of what technology has. But then again, there's an impediment. Data is expensive, and the biggest currency right now is actually data, because you need data to inform policy and decision making. And why I see this as an opportunity is for young people to use this lockdown, or this lockdown that is easing up, to train themselves using their smartphone and their various technology tools. When I hear people say there are no jobs out there, during this lockdown, we published, we called for vacant. There were a lot of vacancies in our organization. We needed people who would work remotely with little or no supervision. Because right now, employers are looking for competent hands with skill sets, skill sets around using technology tool, because there's a huge market here. A lot of people consume content from platforms like Twitter and Facebook. So how can you also generate content that is interactive, that is educative and engaging? So to me, there's a huge potential here, and young people should not wait and think that somebody would come from somewhere and expose them to these opportunities. You must take the bull by the horn, because I always say that the destiny of everyone, your destiny is on your hand. So you have to decide what you want to become and how you choose to use this opportunity. But also in doing that, I believe that we must also stand in solidarity, in the sense that, as young people, we must also be deliberate in transferring knowledge and also creating platforms for other young people to grow and contribute towards nation building. Because for me, that's the highest part of patriotism. It should always be about the country and your role in contributing to the country. I've listened to a lot of young people, and they would say, Nigeria have not done anything for me. And I would ask them, what have you done for Nigeria? Because if you want something back, it's a two-way thing. What have you done for Nigeria? So it's for us to get those skill sets and contribute towards nation building and bring about value and the needed change.
Okay. Kayode, I want you to, in summary, say this to the Nigerian youths.
Well, the summary is that for us to wait and think and start and wait for what government will do for us will be a waste of time, because those in government they didn't go there because of the followers. They went there so that they could amass enough wealth for them and generations to come in their lineage. So we must look at how we can till the ground of ideas among us, around us, and you make productive use of it so that we can be resourceful and help the society, help ourselves first, then help the society as youths who are resourceful and who are promising with our energies and with capacity that God has given to us.
Hamza, what do you think government should do to also propel the youth forward?
I think that government must also undertake needs assessment, because if you look at government program, what is informing this program? Now you see the minister, the minister for labor is saying they want to roll out a program that will cost the Nigerian people over 2 trillion for 3 months. They want to employ young people in all the 704 local government. And then I worry and I ask myself, what informed this decision? What data have you collected? Why are we not setting up this kind of fund where young people who are entrepreneurs can get loan or can get grants and then employ more people, transfer knowledge, transfer skill, and also embed leadership skill in them and mentor them through, a value chain. Yeah. So for me, I'm trying to understand this investment. How is Nigeria recuperating from this investment? And see, my charge to young people is, you must be conscious and you must want to understand what government is doing. You know why? Government decide if you get a job in Nigeria. Government decide what kind of job you get. Government decides how much you're being paid. Government also decide how much you're taxed. Before now, you pay 5% VAT, but now it's 7.5%. So you must be interested in governance as it is, because when you elect people into office, you're not electing them just to represent you. You're electing them to manage and to mobilize wealth that is also shared amongst the Nigerian people. So for me, government must also ensure that when they make decisions like this, let them collect data and talk to young people. And what is also the feedback mechanism? So you're bringing about project or a program for young people. What's the feedback to give for young people to give back to government and say, this is how this is working, or this is how it's not working? If I want to even deep dive, let's talk about the National Youth Service Corps. The amount of resources have gone to the National Youth Service Corps, have we gotten that same value to the Nigerian people, for instance? Are we more integrated? Are we more united yesterday than today? Because I believe the National Youth Service Corps is meant to ensure that we're more integrated, we're more united, and we share our cultural differences with one another and respect that value that we embed. But today, it's so abused. There's so much money going to the National Youth Service Corps, and we're not getting as much as we should get from that scheme. So are we also looking at various schemes like that and also reviewing this scheme and making it much more better? The world is talking about the 22nd century, and we're still in the 20th century.
Wow. What a submission. Thank you very much for your time. So what I'm taking away from this discourse is that the youths of Nigeria need to look inwards. Don't wait for the government. Your destiny is in your hands. If you're going to be the future of your tomorrow, you have to start tilling from today and not wait for a government or a promise somewhere that is likely not going to be kept. And Hamza, thank you very much for coming on to the program.
Thank you for having me.
Kayode, thank you very much for your
It's a pleasure being here.
My name is Mayowa Urabi. Thank you for staying with us. God bless Nigeria and stay safe.